This is the Simulation Football League live from Fort Lauderdale, Florida tonight, where the St. Louis Gladiators, coming in at 2-4, will take on the 3-3 Florida Storm here on your Monday Night Special. Hello everyone, alongside Stephen Hacker and Justin Reside on Stats. I'm Cameron Irvine, and we'll shortly be joined by St. Louis's Drew Riley and Colin Northrup, and Florida's Max Paul and Ben Jackson, part of the staff and majority ownership team of these two franchises. Florida has won all three previous meetings, and they're hoping to make it 4 in a row. The last meeting came in season 17. Florida edged St. Louis 35-27. The last time we were here at the I for this matchup, March 6th, 2021, where Florida won in the rain, 27-10. Pretty night tonight as we get underway for this unique broadcast, and we start with Coach Drew calling the coin toss for St. Louis. What you got, Coach?
Heads.
Call is heads. It's heads. What do you want to do with it?
Receive.
St. Louis wants the ball first. And we'll get set up and ready to go.
Have won the toss and select to receive.
Florida in their primetime sets. They're all blue. St. Louis gold helmets, silver jerseys, green pants. In the top hand corner, you can see all of our chatter tonight from all of our coaches. Ball's on the tee. Kick it. We are underway. From the 3-yard line, St. Louis on the return. And that's out to the 26. And here we go. It's a first down. Coach, what are you looking to see out of this first drive?
Well, what I'm looking to see out of this first drive is I want to see some nice play action call to Kaufman and our fullback, Chris Dean, straight up the middle. And I'm looking to have some nice steady run plays with Cairo Martinez up the middle.
And an offside to start. What do you think of that, Ben?
Neutral zone infraction.
You know, I know we feel like we have one of the best front fours in the league, so I know we're looking to get after these guys up front, so maybe a little bit too eager to go, but that's something I know we're going to be looking to get going on this first drive.
Stoneville offside, the Florida defense. Stoneville, Alessandro Tomaello, Rhett Sawyer, Alex Dominguez. Linebackers, Stephen Black, Ryan Tobin. Corners, Ryan Davidson, Evan Carroll, Adam Jones. Safeties, Adrian Blaine, Andrew Francis. 1st and 5. Martinez with a 3-yard carry, 2nd and 2. St. Louis offense is powered by Christian Brown, Cairo Martinez, Christopher Dean at fullback, Paul Dillevue, Shane Kaufman, Eagle Mondavi. Your receivers, Phil Koss and Guy Clausen, 2nd and 2. Now that pass knocked away. The Stoneville applying some pressure. Is that what you were looking for, Drew, when you were talking earlier?
No, it was not what I was looking for, but I'm just happy that Christian Brown was able to avoid the sack.
Third and short. What can we expect here, Coach?
Well, we can expect an outside pass to Phil Koss.
Oh, they went short on a different read to Dillevue. There's another flag.
Roughing the passer, number 54.
Oh, wow. That's 2 penalties on the defensive front here early.
Let him play, I say. Let's go.
No replay either. What'd you see out of St. Louis this week, Ben?
Well, I'm looking in a little bit more at the defense, expecting them to, be willing to stack the box and put guys up front to try to slow down our run game. Offensively, I know our guys did a good job of scouting them and feel like they know what they're looking at, but I think they got a good plan.
Jones on that deflection. Bring up second down. Seen a lot of 4-3 early here out of Florida tonight. Martinez picks up 9. That's Francis on the tackle. Marty, what'd you see out of St. Louis this week?
Very meticulous offense. They're very deliberate in the way they want to matriculate the ball down the field. Opportunistic here and there. Defensively, very okay. That's something. Defensively, it's one of those bend but don't break. And if you try to take off more than you can chew offensively, they can make you pay for it.
Dominguez drops him for a loss. There you go, Ben. Somebody on that defensive front making a play.
What I'm talking about. Get the ball back for us. Can't score if you don't have it, so let's go.
No pressure on the punter.
Oh, beautiful.
Down to
Just
3.
Just beautiful stuff. Right?
Colin loves the punt. Colin, y'all's decision to go kicker and punter this offseason, what went into that?
Well, the opportunities for roster expansion just kind of lent themselves to there. And we've dabbled in the kicker before and had great success with Amy Salizzi. And, Dwayne was willing to go kicker. And, of course, Drew volunteered to be punter. So, it was a pretty easy decision, especially once we looked at how big the rosters were.
Stephen Hacker helping us in the stats truck. He's got some questions. How does it feel to be backed up against your own end zone, and what's your preference as a coach in these situations, Ben?
Yeah, I think the key is just getting that. If you can get that first down, it puts you in such a better situation. If you're punting from inside your 10, it's almost guaranteed 3 points a lot of times, unless you can get a takeaway or something. But this is a big third down. I know you want to try to run the ball and create some space, but 3rd and 8's a little bit of a tough ask. So hopefully we can get some good pass protection and make something happen here.
Tanner on that last tackle, I'm interested to get your thoughts on how Agrippa is punting out of that end zone, but you're not going to have to worry about that. Poletsky gets a first down. Have you had a lot of Agrippa punts out of his own end zone in his day?
We're prepared to do that. We feel like we got a good guy there who can flip the field for us. With that being said, you love to see something like this where we can create some better field position at least, and hopefully go down and get some points.
All right, what do you want to see out of this first down here? You got 2 receivers to the bottom. Griffin close to the vest as Cochran dumps it off to Doyle for a 5-yard pickup. And his laptop battery died. Live television, folks. Live TV. Drew, what'd you see out of Florida's offense preparing for them this week?
I saw out of their offense, the big thing that I was worried about is their spread offense and their tight F trips, which is similar personnel to their spread, which is a fullback and 3 wide receivers. It's kind of a hit or miss offense, but they were able to get a lot of production out of that run game, which is actually the same play that got them that first down from their end zone.
Yeah, call that out for me the next time you see it. All right, we'll see what they do with that.
Most definitely.
3rd and 1 at the 28 here. Florida started at their own 3. Halfway through the first quarter, you're listening to live coaches and Team leadership here on your Monday night special. First drive for Florida, and Bolesky loses 6 yards on a dump off. Mighty, what causes that? 3rd and 1, Bolesky turns, goes the wrong way. What's the deal with that?
It's trying to avoid tacklers prior to turning your shoulder pads up the field, and it's causing that. That's what causes them to kind of juke sideways, or sometimes even try to truck backwards. Truck away from their goal there.
Leathers on the tackle. This is Agrippa's punt. St. Louis comes after it. Any way to counter that, Mighty? Or does it just happen?
Trying to hit the running back or fullback or receiver, whomever that receiver is. If you could hit him in stride, where they're not staring at the quarterback as they're catching the ball, being stationary, is the best way to avoid that.
So both defenses get a stop early. St. Louis back on offense. And Brown can. Oh no, it's incomplete. Brown looking for a PI and didn't get it.
Right idea, trying to get the guy in a rhythm, but it's kind of hard, and have so many defenders back there just trying to slot the ball. Appreciate Kaufman trying to be the tough guy though.
Big Sexy Mighty getting in the backfield. He didn't get the sack. He's still sitting on a half for the season, but he did get the pressure there.
Yeah, I saw that. I was hoping he finally got back there because there's been 5 games now. We're trying to get him to 200.
Brown fires it well short. That's Francis again on the deflection for Florida. Colin, what's Christian Brown like? I know that he's been a staple in this rebuild and getting St. Louis back to being a contender.
He's just a very quiet guy, but he's a very confident guy. He'll always pick up people in the locker room after we lose. If he has a bad game, he apologizes to his teammates. And I like that accountability in him, and it's been nice to have stability at this position.
3rd and long. That was knocked away by Stephen Black. Coach Drew, what were you trying to dial up there? You see what kind of defense they were in?
Well, if it's anything like what I've seen from scouting, it should have been something along the lines of cover 3 weak from their dime. I was trying to dial up a play that would have a slant up the middle, or possibly a deep route that would be able to pierce through the middle of that coverage.
If you guys see anything that's happening on any kind of particular play, nice return there from Blackwater, the 25. Please don't hesitate to speak up. I am not the star of this show tonight. You are. And so far, the defenses are the star here in the opening quarter.
Well, I'll say this, Cam, at least for the 2 defensive series we just watched from ours, like Ben said at the onset, I'm liking the way the D-line is kind of pressuring Christian Brown and having him move off his spot so he can't, have the time to throw the ball accurately.
Better in stride there. Good wrap-up tackle from Law.
I'm seeing them come out in a nickel defense, which kind of changes some things for us. But puts a little bit more speed on the field.
Ben, one more time. You see him coming out in a nickel defense?
Because their 3rd corner, I think, other good tackler. Yeah. So
having some problems with Ben's audio here.
It's something we knew was a possibility.
Doyle, no gain. Ben, we'll come back to you. Having some audio difficulties with you. Mighty, you might be able to fill in on what he was saying out of that nickel look.
We had an inkling that they might go that route because that's how teams have defended us. At least, whenever they've had to see us during the season, whatever defense they used to run, they kind of switched it up on us to kind of get us in the nickel. Oh, nice pass to Verrett in there. He's going like that. Big tight end. And so we kind of thought they might go that route, but we didn't fully commit to kind of attack the nickel defense this week.
What's that play, Mighty?
That play is feed the tight end. That's what it's called. It's like in our playbook, it's called feed the tight end.
All right. Just getting a gauge here on what we're doing here tonight. Geralt Winkler on the tackle. 1st and 10. Bunch look here.
Ooh, almost got it. Darn it, Wink. You're going to be on the jugs machine again.
Mark Kaufman was in there too, your slot corner.
Yeah. Both the Kaufman brothers have been great. Shane, especially on stats, that's a great help.
So we've seen him go bunch and 3 wide here to start after that. Zarkov, oh, there's a sack right there. That's Max Knight. What a pickup for you guys, Colin.
Yeah, he was definitely a big pickup, and I give a lot of credit to Eagle and Gerald in the front office, just engaging guys and sort of taking a temperature, if you will, and we were able to offer Max just a really good opportunity, and he's been productive for us.
That pass hauled in by Bush out of gun straight. You expecting that, Drew, on that deep shot? Cochran's 5 for 6.
Yeah, yes, I was expecting that deep shot. I believe it was a 50Z post corner, which is what I actually seen while scouting their offense. It's just unfortunate Colin Douglas wasn't able to fully cover that route.
Well, you got him right here. You can give him a talking to.
Colin, if you don't cover those routes, we might have to cut you.
Oh, man. I just want a house. No, just
I remember you were talking about retirement in season 12, and it's been about 6 seasons since then. I have to put up the old cleats.
Just pulling apart, not quite done yet.
Or Brady, for that matter. Minson gets down to the 1, 2nd and inches. Ben, you with us? Still no Ben. Mighty, what do you like to do here inside the 1 yard line?
What I would like to do is feed Bullet, but Ron has ideas of its own down here.
And that one swatted away by Winkler. 4 wide. Red zone offense is a challenge, Mighty. Get your thoughts on how to get a playbook working inside the 10.
You gotta understand that most times that they're gonna go at least not even inside the 10 more, Cam. If you're inside the 5, rarely do you spread inside the 5. So you just gotta make sure that you got a nice, mixture of run and pass plays in your base sets, so you can get, the proper ones called, at least the ones that you're looking for.
Bullet out of a 3-back set there, going to be dragged down for a loss by Douglas. He's not cut no more, and that's a loss of 2, and that'll bring out Snead. There was a question in the chat from High Flying Dwarf, assuming we're doing questions. He said D-line sacks are down across the board. That is true. I was looking at that. Why do you think that is, and do you expect that to remain the case in future seasons? Will they start to rise again as Snead kicks the field goal through?
I'm high flying. That's my boy Liam from across the water. The reason they're down is like there are many mitigating factors. One of them is that coaching across the league is better than it's ever been. Right. So what does that mean? That means teams are game planning for these, super D lines that they're going to come across week in and week out. So you see less 7-step drops on plays that have, 5 receivers going out and the quarterback having to wait half an hour for someone to get open. Conversely, you have more offensive linemen than ever in the league as well to combat these stacked D lines. So there are many mitigating factors. Will I expect it to go high, to increase or to remain the same? I have a feeling it's gonna remain the same. But you might get a team here or there that when they put in the proper, how can I say, resources, right, both on the D line and kind of figuring out how to get their boys loose. That those teams might be able to sneak in an extra sack here or there.
You just have to invest more in it, is what you're saying, to be more effective, right? Oh, wide open. That's Mondavi. He's gone. Coach Drew, touchdown, St. Louis. What's the play?
Yeah,
and give us a
That's what
dissection.
we love to see that. So, I mean, if anyone's scouting this, I'm pretty sure they'll find out the play real quick. But the play was a 50Z tight end cross from base bunch. That's why you saw Florida out in a 4-3 defense, because base bunch has it's a 2 wide receiver set with a fullback out wide as well with the tight end. And so it looked like they were out in the cover 3, and it seemed like Eagle was able to create a lot of separation with the weak side cornerback.
We'll take a look and break down the play from both angles here after the extra point, but St. Louis gets on the board. Justin Resides, Stephen Hacker on stats. Christian Brown, prior to that pass, was 1 for 6. That's a 73-yard bomb to Eagle Mondavi, and quickly that gives St. Louis the lead, and that extra point is up and good. So now it's 7-3. Let's take a look at what we just saw here on this 75-yard pass. I'm going to zoom it out. First, from the St. Louis perspective, Drew, describe some of this route tree and what we might be looking at here.
Okay, so with 50Z Titan cross, it's a lot of slants with a short corner post, which is what Eagle Mondavi is running. The 2 receivers beside him are running a slant route, and the one out there wide to the right side is running an out route, about 5-10 yards out. And so it's all about just trying to create a lot of separation, and the goal is on the bunch side is that since these receivers are running in opposite directions, the defensive backs might get caught up on each other or be confused on which man to cover.
Marty, what's going on with Blaine? He looks like he comes down here in the box.
Yeah, it's one of those, it's coverage shell rotations pre-snap to feign a cover 3 look, and when it's time to bail back to the responsibility, a step late, $1 short, however you want to call it there, and trying to desperation final jump to hopefully get a deflection and just mistime the ball there, and then Eagle was off to the races.
And is he going to come down in the box based on what the offense called there, or is he coming down in the box based on the play call?
He's coming down in the box to take away the strong side in case it is a run play. So that way you kind of either you match numbers or outnumber, and so you hopefully get leverage there pre-snap. Hopefully, if it's a run, but because it's a pass, they have to bail to responsibilities, and sometimes they don't get back to the responsibilities fast enough.
Ben, you with us? Any thoughts on this play? We'll try and get your mic working.
Yeah. Number 2. So Adrian Blake's got half the responsibility there, and like Mighty said, kind of the disguise feature at that sport there, and that's it.
Man, I'm sorry, Ben. We're just having a lot of problems with your microphone tonight. We caught a little bit of that, but I guess keep working on it behind the scenes, and we'll try to get you going here shortly. St. Louis gets the touchdown, 75-yarder to Eagle Mondavi, 1:34 to go here in the first, 7-3. St. Louis, while Florida gets going on offense, Coach Drew, back to you. Question from Hacker. What motivates you week to week as a coach?
What motivates me week to week is that personally I'm a very competitive person, and I love on the coaching side that it's just kind of like a chess match, and it's dedicating a lot of time to scouting and scratching your head or banging your head against the board. But when you realize that the team or the coaching that you're going against is more competent than yourself, and that's how it feels with Florida's coaching staff. Is that not only do they have the legend, Mighty Rex, kind of in the background, but their team is just built, especially with Rhett Sawyer, which is a player that they acquired this offseason. And so, as you can already see, Christian Brown's just getting pressured immediately. And that's something I was facing all week. And I think overcoming those challenges is kind of a motivating factor.
Minson's got the first down.
But I would also like to touch on what Ben said while he was kind of buzzing in and out. As yes, we are running a base nickel 4-2 and 3-3 defense. In my personal experience, the nickel, or having a base nickel, is pretty much the best run defense schemes for all pro football. I don't know why that is, but I guess it could be just I trust it more to stop Bullet Bolesky, especially with having David Leathers out on the field. He is comparable to stopping him because he matches his speed a bit more.
There's the nickel again against that heavy set in the backfield. Oh. Bullet made 3 people miss. Now, Coach Drew, that's one of those things, right, where that's out of your control. You put those players in position to succeed. They just didn't do their job.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just out of our control. Unfortunately, as long as I can put those players in a position to succeed, after that, it's all kind of a roll of the dice, sort to say.
End of the first quarter, 7-3 St. Louis. Here's your first quarter stats from Hacker and Justin in the stat truck. Pretty even. Almost all of the yards for St. Louis came on the one bomb to Mondavi. That's the difference in the game. The one sack, but plenty of pressures from Florida. Neither team with a turnover in that quarter. Well played first quarter. I want to go back to something that was talked about earlier as Bush has a first down. I was looking back. Since season 12, we've had at least one team every season with a plus 100 point differential and a negative 100 point differential. Now, Baltimore's going to take care of the top this season, or at least they're on pace to. But right now, the league is on pace for 0 teams to have a negative 100 point differential at the end of the year. Portland's 0-8, but they are losing games by an average of 8.2 points per game. That's almost one possession. It just goes to show you what's going on at the bottom of the table. St. Louis trying to avoid that here tonight as that pass is hauled in over the middle to the 5. It's Minson again. Colin, how challenging is it when you know that you've got a great coaching staff, but the wins just aren't getting put together, as many teams often experience?
Well, it is frustrating because you know that your guys are labbing, simming, working, long hours as much as they possibly can, and the results aren't coming. And the hardest part for me is I gotta keep the locker room together. I gotta put out any fires, just in case people are, because the negativity starts to snowball, and it impacts the team as a whole when you're on a losing streak like you've been.
Boletsky with the nice run. Bullet Boletsky here tonight. Off to a pretty good start. 9 carries, 26 yards, a touchdown. They are definitely feeding him early. And the extra point from Snead is good. It's 10-7 now, Florida. Mighty, break down this touchdown for us.
This is one of Ben's favorite concepts, which is the power O. We have two star guards. Here you see the backside guard pulling. And though he doesn't look like he should be able to reach because he's been in the weight room and hitting the tackling dummies, he gets there right in time to be able to impede the defender's path to Bullet, which allows Bullet to continue to gain momentum forward. So as the defender tries to get a hold of Bullet, Bullet's already got a full head of steam going, and it's just a thing of beauty to watch when Bullet gets the feet churning. It's very few defenders can stop him in his tracks. So
this
great job there.
This is important, right? If he doesn't get a chip on him at all, this is probably a tackle in the backfield.
That's a 5-yard loss if he doesn't get there. But because, we made that investment in the offseason to get two of these bad boys, we pull all of them all the time. And they've been nothing but excellent for us this season.
Now Doyle cleans it up. Okay, from Drew's perspective, how are you trying to defend this? It looks like you've got, is that a 5-2 out there?
Yes, it's a 5-2. We usually expect most red zone offenses, especially towards the goal line, to attack more on the outside runs, screen plays, quick outs, swings, and so we're really relying on the cornerback, the strong safety, and the linebackers to all converge on the outside, which is what you can see in Colin Douglas, Nicholas Warner, and Rodney Panani. All are converged on there, but unfortunately, they're all being blocked. So no one can really make that touchdown saving play.
And there's no angle. The play is too short. It's a 4-yard touchdown run, and that's all they wrote. 10-7, Florida up. Thank you, fellas, for breaking that down. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Dang, Mighty. Why don't you give Doyle some credit in the chat, putting the man down? I don't think he was ready for that. Kicks away. Kaufman, nice return. You got two Kaufmans, Colin, Mark and Shane.
Yeah, we do, and we figured if we're gonna draft one, we might as well take the other. We're a family-oriented business here. Mark Gronick, of course, came in with his brother Johnny back in season 14. So, family is a big part of what we do. We're just one big sort of extended family that gets to support each other.
Martinez with his third carry there. Sawyer on the stop. All right, Coach Drew, going to go in your head for a sec. What do you see out of Florida? What are you looking for here on offense?
Well, what I'm looking for is taking advantage to see if they keep their cover 3 defense from the 4-3. And so I'm hoping we can attack the outside. Seems like Christian Brown came up from the middle of the quarterback sneak. Sometimes his height and his feet get turned for about 6 yards on average sometimes in some sims.
Now, what kind of stunt takes advantage of a sneak? I'll get your thoughts here after this third down. Play fake doesn't work out. That's swatted away by Christian Paul, and so it's going to be a 3-and-out. But on those sneaks, which can be effective, as you were saying, Drew, what kind of stunts might you see on film to say, you know what, I think we might be able to get something on that?
A good one for me is obviously fan or contain, the ones that go towards the outside. What I saw from Florida personally is gaps. So it's kind of a mix, in my thoughts. Gap. The gap stunt is a mix between a pass rush to stop from the outside run and kind of like a pass coverage to also stop any quick outs or swings if the defensive line is quick enough. And so when I saw those gaps, I thought that Christian Brown might have the speed to push on through while the defensive line is kind of being pushed off from the offensive line.
You'll trek Rugen with that punt for St. Louis. Good tackle by Rodney there. Ben, let's try again. That's not a good sign.
How we doing, fellas?
Yeah, still a problem, Ben. I'm sorry. 2nd and 9 from the 36. Trying to get it working. There's not much we can do. Ron's pass is caught. Set up a 3rd down and short. Mighty, every down is different, right? It's in the way that the strategies get pulled on a 3rd and short. What gets pulled and what do you like?
More often than not, it's some kind of run that's gonna happen. Now, what run's gonna happen? Don't know, but you know it's 90% of the time it's a run, or like you saw earlier in the game when Bullet ran backwards, they'll call a screen pass, and then guys decide to want to do whatever they want to do at that point. But 9 times out of 10, it's some kind of running play, usually from a base set or a power set.
Another handoff to Bullet. Another missed tackle for St. Louis. 1st down to the Gladiator 25.
I would just like to say, E.J. Minson out there, wide receiver 1. Look at that big boy out there blocking like a big offensive lineman, sealing that block to give Bullet an extra 10 yards. Great job by E.J. over there.
Do some wide receivers block better than others, Mighty?
Yeah, some do. You know, they put in the work, or they worked on their both strength and run blocking, and that in turn helps them be able to be a factor out there in the blocking scheme. Because there's some receivers out there that got no blocking, and it shows when they get thrown to the ground and their defender, you know, throws it right back for a loss.
Okay, Drew, are you in a dime here?
Yeah, so we're in a 4-1 dime. Ooh, that's unfortunate.
You think they're going to get holding out there?
I mean, I sure wish, but it could be a late hit.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, wow.
That's very fortunate.
It's on the center.
Guy just wandered too far downfield, Cam.
That's pretty.
Just overzealous blocking his man there, I guess.
Did you see that, Mighty?
I don't mean...
Yeah, he thought he was an eligible receiver on that play. I got to go talk to him.
Bullet putting in work. Warner on the stop. So you were out of that dime against the pass, Drew. I'm guessing that you don't necessarily, when they're in that set, you're not necessarily thinking they're going to be running.
No, you know, 9 times out of 10, most teams do not run out in a 4-wide set. That play in particular that they use is something I've seen on film quite a few times. It's a 50A hook and go, I believe. And so a lot of times they get a lot of production out on that crossing route that was passed to. And so how we're set up is that's all on Rodney Panani to cover that middle for that crossing route.
3rd and 6, Mighty. I don't think you want all slants in the red zone.
I mean, if we call it, I'll take it.
What do you want to see here out of this nickel 3-3 from St. Louis? Oh, you got what you got. Quick, coaches, quick. Cochran goes down. That's Max Knight again, 4th down.
That's part of why he was so productive for Arizona is he's just able to be so quick off the ball, especially when he's just the nose tackle in a 3-man front defense. He's just able to get around the center really quick, and he has great athletic ability for a big guy.
Yes, Max Knight, he generates a lot of power with those legs of his. And so oftentimes you can see him bulldoze his way through the offensive line and straight into the quarterback, even though he does not have the bulldozer animation.
So no bulldozer animation, Drew, but he can get it. He can get it just through strength. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, through his attributes, which is strength, agility, and speed are those important attributes when it comes to blasting on through the offensive line for a defensive tackle.
12 of 14 for 156 yards for Cochran, but still just a 6-point game. Ooh, Kaufman got cut down. If you had Eddie Gage patting himself on the back on your bingo card, you can scratch that one off. And there's 4:47 to go in the first half. If you're just joining us, resetting things, we've got coaches. Ben Jackson's been having some audio trouble on the Florida side. We got Max Paul holding it down. Colin Douglas and Drew Riley here with us on the St. Louis side. A pretty close competitive game. A chess match, no doubt, as Martinez picks up a couple yards. He's been slow to get things going just a little bit here to start the night as Stephen Black makes the stop. That last drive was for Florida was 10 plays, 53 yards. It was their second 10-play drive of the evening.
Now this play is my favorite play that I found out.
And there you have it. And there he goes. What a move by Brown. Holy moly. Just put in. Drew, tell us about it.
Okay, so me and Cam had this conversation the other night, but this play is known as Strong Power Zero from King Spread in particular. And it's basically, it defaults into a quarterback run. It's very effective. It's probably one of the most effective quarterback run plays I've ever seen coming from the gun. And our quarterback, Christian Brown, just has the leg power to generate that much speed.
Oh, is that it right there? That's it, Mighty. Alex Dominguez, 200 career sacks.
Yes, sir. My boy got that 200.5. Let's go.
Man, we've been waiting on that for a long time. After they took a half sack away from him about a month and a half ago. We'll get back to that play here in just a moment, but congratulations to Alex Dominguez. An unbelievable accomplishment that no one else has ever had. Martinez, best run of the night, picks up 6. Okay, back to the shotgun run there from Christian Brown. Marty, you've seen that out of Queen City a time or two over the years.
Yes, I have. I'm surprised Queen City, I guess, with Eric not, having being hands-on like it used to be. That's why we haven't seen Queen City use it as much as they had in the past. But definitely remember our boy getting loose. Oh, like that boy getting loose in secondary there. Get loose for a time or two for key first downs.
That's the fullback out of the backfield, Drew. Another creative play from this offense.
Yeah, it's a very common play that we see being used now. Florida has even used it a couple times this game already. And we're kind of building Chris Dean as more of a receiving fullback. You can take a look at his build. He has a pretty solid run route and speed and agility. And I think there's a lot of effective plays that can use a fullback out wide, just like that play that we just saw.
We tried to get him going a couple weeks ago when he was playing Tulsa at home. Just he had some bad luck with some balls that were bouncing all over the place, really.
Pass holding by Martinez for a pickup of 7. And St. Louis is on the move a little bit here.
As a defensive guy, I can appreciate it because we've been on the field a lot, so we needed some rest for sure.
Total play count, 34 for Florida, 23 for St. Louis as we've reached the 2-minute warning. 13-7 Florida. Thanks to Hacker and Reside in the stats truck. Four wide, looks like maybe some man coverage there. That's why the coaches are here to tell us about it. That's Dean with another first down. They have to tell us about it, though.
Even though Dean is he's a relatively low value player when we drafted him, his ability to just progress very quickly into this solid, almost specialized build gets a lot of production out of him, especially coming into the second half of the season.
What are we seeing here, Drew?
We're probably going to see a similar play. It's going to be Kyra Martinez on an out. He usually gets open when it's one of these four wide plays.
It picks up 3. Flipping a script, Mighty, on defense in the red zone. I know oftentimes, sometimes teams run goal lines, sometimes they don't. Looks like you're in a 4-3 look here.
Yeah, it's more about nice hit. It's more about here, bend, don't break, keep it in front of you. If they catch it short, that's fine. Just rally to the ball, tackle them, and make them have to execute another down.
I just want Christian to be smart with the football here. We have 3 points in our back pocket if we make 56.
And there's your 3 points in your back pocket, although I don't think Drew likes that timeout very much. Field goal unit coming on.
No,
That's Bobby Ray Beauchamp. Go ahead, Drew. Sorry.
I think. No, it's all good. I was hoping he might take a deep shot downfield, but I can't appreciate that Christian Brown recently has been taking the checkdowns at a better time, so we don't throw those risky interceptions that we've been seeing a lot this season.
Brown 7-13 for a $121. That kick is good, and it's 13-10 now here in the first half. 31 seconds left. Mighty question from Colin. We know that your team's in Florida, but he's wondering why you originally started the team in Alaska, for those that don't know.
Because I love the elements, Cam. I'm a man from the Great White North. So when I first was awarded the team, I wanted to kind of bring that element to the SFL because the SFL didn't really have. They had few and far between element games, snow games, because those are the most epic type of matchups. And that's why, to me, even though Jeremy might not agree, that season 12 championship game when Denver had to come to Alaska in the midst of the snow, just the theatrics, the way the game came down to the line, to me, that's still the best and greatest SFL game ever. Just because of everything, the stakes, the snow, it was just beautiful to watch.
It was certainly a pretty football game, no doubt about it. Saw some slants there. Doyle gets a reception, and St. Louis keeps him in bounds. That may be all she wrote. Now, we're not going to get to see any kind of 2-minute offense here in the first half, but going back to Drew, is there any kind of an art in trying to build? Oh, they're going to run one more play here. Bullet to the outside, it'll be wrapped up. Is there any art to trying to get a good 2-minute offense working despite some of the things that are out of your control? Is that a thing in your mind?
It's usually not. I focus more on just trying to make sure that on average, the average drive can work well. But there are a few select amount of plays that I put in just for the 2-minute drives. It's a lot of deep outs, not 50xz deep outs, not that play in particular, but anything that can slow down the clock, whether that is a quick out or a quick swing to Cairo, kind of chipping down yards. I really love trying to have corner routes out there because it can result in plays exactly what we saw for Eagle Mondavi. So it's either it stops the clock or it's a touchdown, or if it's good coverage, it could be an interception as well. But those are kind of the plays I use.
Marty, your thoughts on 2-minute offense?
I like to have a little mixture here and there in my base in my offensive setup to begin with. So if I ever get stuck in 2 minute from any formation, I have a nice little mix of plays for Ron to kind of select from and be able to get out of jams if necessary. So you're not spamming 90-yard slants, play in and play out.
Is it a thing, guys, to have to have plays that go to the middle of the field and then also to the outside in the same formation, so that if you do end up in one of those, that at least at some point you can stop the clock? Is that something that can help?
Yeah, there are quite a few plays that can do that. 50 Z Titan Cross is one of those, since it has 3 crossing routes and 1 out route, so it attacks both the middle and the outside at the same time. There's also a lot of like 50x cross plays. So anytime you have a play where it has 2 routes where 2 receivers are crossing each other, a lot of times those will attack both the middle and the outside.
Start of the second half here, 13-10, Florida's up. Close ball game. This game very important to both teams. A little toss play, and Beletsky's got a first down to the 39-yard line. The toss is coming back, Mighty. I see it all over the league now.
I told you, Ben loves them big guards, man, and he's been like, "Hey, what? A play with a guard running outside of the box. Let's call it." And that's Ben's offense right there. So he's put him to use, and these boys are coming through.
Ben, we'll try you again. Can we get you to comment on your offense?
Yeah, I mean, I'm bringing it back this season. We are a little bit more focused on the gap speed, power, default, everything like that. How's that sound?
I think we got most of that. I call that a success. Beletsky picks up 9 yards to the 48-yard line. He's up to 87 yards on 15 carries. Brings up 2nd and 1. Got to celebrate the little victories.
There's something in scouting that I'd like to congratulate Florida on. Quite a few times when I was scouting their previous game in week 6, I believe, I saw a few times they ran a run play from shotgun to their halfback, and I was under the mindset that a lot of times those plays are just dead in the water as soon as it goes off. But somehow Florida seems to be making it work with the talent Bullet Beletsky. And so that's really impressive, especially as a defensive-minded coach.
We tried to work on a few different things. It's actually something obviously able to work out in the minor league. With Annapolis, you get back there in Randy Square Bush, found a couple of down runs that we like, so we do use those occasionally in this league as well.
Now I get a chance to roast Ben. Mighty, is he ever in audio or team channels and sounding like this? This is a common thing. Oh, Beletsky throwing backwards.
No, I don't know where he decided to spend tonight. Tonight he sounds like he's underwater. That's what's going on right now. He usually sounds crystal clear when I talk to him, so I don't know what's going on tonight.
It's 2022, Ben. Trying our best. It's all in good fun. Technology issues happen. That pass caught by Bush. First down to the 28. Little stat pack for you. Cochran 16 of 18, 182. Boletsky's got 94 yards on 17 carries. Leading receiver Stephen Bush with 46 yards on 4 catches, but Minson has 45 yards on 4 catches. Bush has his 5th there. The St. Louis 22-yard line. Mondavi's lone catch on that corner route touchdown, and Florida's driving again. So Drew mentioned what he saw from Scout in Florida that he took from. Marty, I would imagine watching St. Louis, you know, it's a unique offense to prepare for. I put in all the books every week, and not many look like St. Louis.
Yeah, as you had asked me at the onset, what we saw in St. Louis is that, like I said, the offense is very methodical. They take a shot here or there, but they're very deliberate about what they want to do. They want to feature Cairo. They want to live on a shorter passing game, control passing game, kind of get Christian Brown into a rhythm. They have a lot of play action passes. I put it, you know what I'm saying? Like, not many teams run play action out of quads, but yeah, that's St. Louis, and I like the fact that they're different. Because, once people or teams find out, from other teams that think are successful, they try to steal it and copycat it. And the fact that St. Louis is trying to push the envelope and develop an identity of their own is awesome to watch.
First down for Florida. What game in your history stands out most to you and why? Let's start with Colin.
Good question. There's a lot that stand out, but if one game that comes to mind, I think Dwayne, who's in the chat, will probably agree with me on this one, is when we played, I think it was the Cleveland Stallions, and they kept having all those special teams touchdowns, and that's when we had the really sort of odd, funky offense at that time. It was really early in that history that stands out as another really close. Some of the walk-off games we had in season 14 versus Seattle, and Chiso returned the kickoff for the touchdown that was the winning score, or when we beat Mexico City on that pick 6. Those are just some that stand out.
Wasn't there one you were involved with, and maybe you mentioned it just then and all that, but wasn't there a kickoff return touchdown as time expired to win the game? Oh, Boletsky.
Yeah, that was it. That was against Seattle. And that was a back-and-forth game, and, ultimately, yeah, that did turn out to be the clinching score, and just season 14 was so magical because that was the first time we were not only above 500, but that was the first time we made the playoffs after having all those years of double-digit losses, back to back to back.
That was with Pickler too, right? Is the rookie Johnny Pickler?
Yeah, that was Pickler's rookie year, season 14.
Had that magical OT throw against Chicago in overtime.
Oh yeah, his homecoming game, that was pretty special as well.
Extra point is good. It's 20-10. That was a great drive by Florida. Mighty's in the chat getting on Doyle saying he went the wrong way. What happened here?
So again, Ben with his famous "let's pull all the guards we can," even the National Guards pull on this one, and Doyle said he ran on the wrong way on purpose to fool the defense, to make it think we're going left when we're going right, because you get a seal here and you get a seal there, and then you got an alley.
Is he supposed to be going that way?
No, Cam, he's not. But
Okay, well then tell me. Well then, why did he go that way? Is that
that's Doyle. That's all I gotta say about that. But Big Greg leading the way. Get a nice key block there to Fort Bullet to get to the edge and build that momentum. Ooh, look, nice pancake block at that. Great block there. Oh my bad, that wasn't Greg. That was Big Joseph Wade. That's the Big Joseph Wade with the key block. And then Bullet setting up the defender there, making him think he's gonna go outside, comes back inside with a nice little spinorama, and gets to walk into the end zone.
Now, Drew, tonight, I think one thing that's been causing some problems is these missed tackles. How do you fix that as a coach? Because Warner's got him right there, and look at Bullet. He just got him.
Well, when it comes to those one-on-one situations, it's really about talent, or in the league, it's your build, and it's kind of a dice roll. So if Nicholas Warner had something like helmet-high tackles, that might be a different story, or run coverage bonus. But Bullet Boletsky is just so talented, especially with those spin moves, and with this talented offensive line, he's able to challenge our safeties a lot. And so Nicholas Warner, he just has to have it in this situation. But sometimes you don't, and that led to this touchdown.
Polly Truth, the tight end, getting out there with a nice block as well. Florida's
Cam, I
10.
appreciate you highlighting Big Polly.
You saw that,
Big
right?
Polly's been laying fools out all season long. He's an assassin as a blocker, and I love it.
He kind of got that whole play started. 5.5 to go. Cochran's got 2 incompletions, no touchdowns. That's been Bullet's department. He's up to 108 yards on 20 carries. St. Louis has had the one big touchdown. They really haven't had a lot of necessarily short drives. That last field goal drive was 11 plays, 63 yards. And honestly, Colin mentioned it earlier, the fact that they just really haven't been on the field much. No turnovers in this game, but St. Louis 28 offensive plays to Florida's 48. And the offense just hasn't been on the field very much. And Brown is sacked. That's Dominguez again. This defensive front really causing problems tonight.
Well, coming into this game, we knew we had to move Christian Brown off his spot. Maybe not with sacks, but with pressure to kind of throw off the timing of their short passing game, and having them to hold that ball an extra second or throw it sooner than he wants, so that way they can't be as successful with the timing of their throws. So far so good.
2nd and 15. There's another play fake from Brown. Oh, and it's picked off. Picked off. What a play. Adam Jones steps in front of it. Marty, what was the defense here? You said shed some light.
That looked like a dime cover 4. Yeah, I see Stephen Black roaming the middle. That was dime cover 4, where both your slot backs have hook zone to flat zone, and as their running back there was running towards the outside, that's where Adam Jones kind of pinched down and took that option away, and he was able to make a big play for us.
Now, is that something in particular, Mighty, when you're putting a cover 4 in a playbook, are you looking to stop something in particular, like that little pass out into the flats, or is it more of a general trying to cover your bases?
Actually, yeah, cover 4, we're not really looking to take away flat work like that. We're more looking to, again, let him catch it short, rally to the ball, hold him to minimal gain, force the punt, because it is a 4-wide receiver or 5-wide receiver defense. So the fact that he's able to make a play, it's one of those that Jimmy and Joe's, not X's and O's kind of deal. So we'll take it. But no, he's supposed to actually, play for a little further back, so that way there's no receivers getting behind him for, intermediate gains.
Drew, if you can hold him to 3 here, does that give you a boost of confidence?
Yeah, it definitely helps out being behind 13 points instead of 17. It still makes it a 2-possession game. And I believe our boys, we always have a really good red zone defense, and so I believe we can hold them to 3. I believe if we can make it a short run, or even perhaps a pass deflection, we might even have a chance to actually have a game-saving interception.
Yeah, the defense has been all over the place here in the red zone. Boletsky's been the difference, making a couple of guys miss. And right at the sticks. That's a touchdown to Stephen Bush, and a passing at the end of it. Mighty, Stephen ran that perfectly right beyond the marker of the pylon? Is there any way you can teach that?
It looked like St. Louis came out in some type of cover 2 zone defense where the corner squatted because Steven ran his route to 10, and then he kind of played patty cake with the cornerback to kind of get him to back off. And on the cut, Ron was able to just throw it a little behind him because he was kind of close to the sideline, so he was able to kind of brace himself and catch and slide and get down so he get the 2 feet down for the touchdown.
Is that what you saw too, Drew?
Say that again, please.
Is that what you saw as well on that play? Cover 2 look?
I don't believe we have any cover 2 out from that formation in particular. It just kind of seemed like the DB that was there that was supposed to cover that route. You saw like a slight bump, and then there was not much coverage. You know, he played too much centered into his zone to cover that out route.
Well, St. Louis is in a bit of a pinch here. Florida's got 14 unanswered here in the third quarter, 27-10. After St. Louis tacked on that field goal on that 11-play drive that accounts for almost 1/3 of St. Louis's plays here tonight. Offensively, that is. Oh, nice throw from Brown. And Martinez picks up 6. Got to stay ahead of the sticks.
See, we played the same coverage there, Cam, the same cover 4, and you see how far the DB was, and that's our backup there because Adam was off because he played special teams on the kickoff, so he took a down off, and you see how far back his replacement was. Adam made a great play earlier to get that interception.
So same play, but players matter.
That is correct.
Off is short. So now 3rd and inches here. That's Eagles' second catch. Drew, you're probably looking for just some kind of simple run here. Haven't seen Dean too much tonight, or maybe Brown will take it.
I mean, I'd like to see Brown take it, but I honestly think we can see Dean going up the middle in this play.
Black tried to cut it off, and that's Martinez first down. Mighty, coming into the week, you guys were, I think, maybe trying to beef up the box a little bit. Have you seen a lot of that tonight out of your defense, and has it been effective?
The guys during the bye week were very unhappy with their performances throughout the month of February. We did not have a good month of February, and they've been champing at the bit, wanting to get back on the field to prove that those games were aberrations. That's not how the Storm play football. So I am very happy with the performance so far tonight.
Koss with the catch. And out and in on that far side. Gets 7. Koss has been a little quiet.
Yeah, he's kind of the forgotten guy in terms of the passing game. You know, he's quiet and he'll go up like he did there. Sometimes for even more.
Nice run there by Cairo. Gets a first down. And St. Louis moving the football once again. Got to get at least some points here on this drive and possibly a chunk play. We know St. Louis has it in them with that 75-yarder to Mondavi earlier tonight. Oh, Brown got crushed. What a dime. Man, Mondavi on the sideline with his 3rd grab. What a throw from Christian. Probably the best of the night. $11 of 18.
That's the kind of guy Christian is. So, yeah, sure, he'll make his mistakes and takes his lumps, but yeah, he can pull off plays like that, or getting rid of the ball at the last possible minute when he needs to.
Another first down for Cairo. Ben, let's try again.
Martinez on the inside there.
First and 10 from 40 yards.
Sorry, Ben. Ben fades away into the ether. First and 10 at the 40, and Martinez is going to get a yard. That's Sawyer on the stop. Go on.
Second and 9. Ball at the 39 yards.
Bunch look here. And I think that's PI on Black there.
Has to be.
Pass interference. Number 42.
And there's a third penalty on Florida tonight.
Unusually flag heavy for a game, Cam. You don't see a lot of flags thrown in an SFL game.
Yeah, all on the defense, too. 3 different players. That's been the, I guess, one negative thing about Florida here tonight defensively outside of that one busted coverage. Four wide on first. That's caught. And that ends the third quarter. A 9-yard pickup. There's Paul. Drew, first down, right? How do you get what gets called, right? Sometimes you can come out in heavy. There, first down, you're running 4 wide receivers. What is the challenge there? How do you pull that? Because there's certainly a pattern.
Well, I believe most of our play calling is through formations or personnel. And so, you can relatively be confident that on first downs, it might be a 2 tight end or a 3 tight end set. And if it's third and short, it's most likely going to be a 3 tight end set. And if it's going to be third and long, a 4 wide. And when it's the first down, they kind of have all of their priorities for a formation reset. And so it gives priority to how far behind are you. So we're down 17 points, and we still have some relative distance to the end zone. And so it wanted to call a 4 wide or a 3 wide set to get a good chunk yard play out.
Nice run there by Cairo. Where's that been all night? There's the sea parted there on Florida's defense.
Someone must have gave Cairo his green M&Ms during the halftime, because he's really woken up during the second half.
That he has. 13 carries, 37 yards. There's Dominguez, couple sacks. Let's see what St. Louis does in the red zone. This is the 14th play of the drive. Caught again. Third down. Mondavi once more. This is where it starts to get tight, people. What are we going to see, Drew?
We're most likely going to see that same play that gave Eagle that touchdown. We might see it through the middle.
Boom. Paul Delavu with the touchdown. And what a drive, what an answer for St. Louis. Mighty, just what you were talking about, an extremely meticulous offense. St. Louis stayed patient, got the score.
Yeah, there you see Christian Brown just poised, no pressure in his face, able to go through his reads and pinpoint the weak part of the opening in our defense there. So D-line got to do a better job of getting at him.
Now, that was the slant that time off of that pattern, wasn't it, Drew? I think you were right.
Can you re-ask that again, please? Sorry
I think
about
that was the slant, the inside slant off of that pattern. Was it not?
Yeah. Yes, it was. It was. It's possible that the defense thought that we might be going to Eagle Mondavi again on the outside, and so the middle kind of parted open just a little bit for Paul Dillaboo to catch that ball.
I want to go back to this Cairo run here because we haven't seen Cairo really have a chance to get out in the open field all that much. I want to get Mighty's perspective on this first. How does it happen? Is it a combination of a defensive play that isn't set up to stop a play like this, and it's just a bad matchup, and you just
It's 3rd and 3. The linebackers are feigning blitz, and because of that, they basically just ran into or set themselves up to be blocked man on man. Because right now, pre-snap is hat on hat. If you go back, you'll see everyone got an assigned blocker, which is not good for a defense. Okay, and so at the snap, it doesn't matter who pancakes what, because there are gaps and lanes everywhere for Cairo to just get a big gain out of.
now you got a linebacker coming in on the outside. Now, if they run a stretch play, right, he's probably going to make this play, but that's just not what they're running. Is there any way as a coach? I mean, I guess the point I'm trying to make is sometimes things are out of your control, and this is one of those situations, right? You wouldn't necessarily call that play to stop this run.
It's like I said, earlier when Adam got the pick, is that Jimmy's and Joe's not X's and O's. This is another one where the Jimmy's and Joe's decide to do what they want to do, instead of executing the play that's been called from the sideline. So it works sometimes, and sometimes it don't.
Drew, did you see any of this on film? As you can see there, the offensive linemen tear down the defensive front. That helped too.
Yeah, I saw it. It's rare. We only saw it once this game so far, but we're kind of an ISO and dive type of team, so the defense kind of laying out in a very thin line where everyone has a dedicated blocker is really in our favor. And it might have been a different story if we had a finesse back and we decided to run to the outside instead.
So that's where having a guy inside, can be really helpful and effective, especially just trying to tear up, and pick up a couple of yards. Let's get back to the favorite moments question. Mighty, you mentioned season 12. You've had a long list of SFL games in your day. Nice return by Blackwell. But any others stick out in your mind that are just, untouchable?
Besides that first game ever where we played, my kicking brother from another mother's team, Ramos, and Matt Wilson's Mexico City Aztecs. The game that sticks out in my mind is our first ever playoff game. That ridiculous game where we decided to not show up till halftime, and then all hell broke loose as we had at the time set like the biggest comeback ever, until Atlanta decided to go down by 20 and come back from 20 down.
Yeah, the Vegas one too. Now that was regular season, but I remember that pretty well. I think that was the first 24-point comeback in the league, and while we've seen a couple 24s since then, we've never seen anything over 24.
What's crazy about that Vegas game is that's the season that we didn't have a star tight end, but still our starting tight end was still a big factor in our passing game. So in the first quarter, we both lost him and Jason Williams. So it was crazy when the comeback started occurring. Like, who we throwing to? Who we running with? I don't know. And Ron just chuck it deep. Somebody's down there. So it worked. It worked.
Jason Williams, man. I forgot he played in Florida. It's been so long. Now he's over there balling in Fort Worth. Speaking of comebacks, a great comeback by Fort Worth yesterday. St. Louis going to set up a 3rd and 5. This is going to get interesting. They can get a stop. Coach Drew, you got a favorite moment?
Yeah, I do. It doesn't expand as far back because my first season was season 12, but my favorite moment was In season 16, during our legendary 5-0 start, during Christian Brown's rookie season, it was the fourth game against Andy Hamilton in Vancouver, and I just really loved the process of working out that game, because during that time we really didn't have any offense whatsoever that challenged their nickel or their dime. And I kind of theorized that maybe they won't make any changes to their dimes because they didn't see us challenge anyone else's dime for the past 3 games. So I put in 90x hot from the gun straight to kind of throw them off, because I was kind of seeing their defense play up to the line, to the line of scrimmage a little too much, which would usually give the fade route a nice separation, and that's exactly what we saw. And so I believe that that game in particular is just my favorite moment, because that was what I felt like was the most perfect playbook I ever put on the field.
It feels good when it all comes together. I can totally understand that. Beletsky gets another 4. Drew, Ron Cochran, man. I mean, what a pain. It's 2 incompletions still tonight.
Yeah, and you know, that's him as a veteran, able to be precise and surgical with our defense. Unfortunately, I was really hoping that we would be able to stop these types of plays that you just saw, which was, I believe, a 50Z tight end cross from tight triple, I believe. And I was really hoping our cover 3 schemes would be enough to stop those surgical passes through the middle.
St. Louis needs a turnover. First down at the 11. Florida has not turned it over tonight, and if they do, they're going to blame me, so who knows. Oh, there's Knight again. That's number 3 for Max tonight.
Yeah, he's swinging that bat, Max. He's just been making a killing all game.
Hard to get sacks against his front. I was looking at some of the numbers earlier, Mighty, and I think was Joseph Wade. Man, that guy's untouchable.
Yeah, man. Those, like I said, those 2 guards, and then you got big Greg. You know, got Ron's blind. Well, not Ron's blind side since he's left-handed, but Ron's left side, and they're very good at giving him all the time he needs to process the field and get the ball to the correct guy. So Max Knight has been a pain though, because he's been lining up against our center and just eating his lunch.
All right, I'm going to go around to you guys after this third down play because I'm really curious, and it's something that I think is important to let the general public know. Just whatever, just what you go through is that pass is going to be short, so St. Louis will keep it a 2-score game. But I want to ask you guys, what's the most misunderstood thing about coaching, from whether it be from the general public or teams that are looking for a way to kind of get off the schneid and turn things around? What's a thing that most people just don't understand? I'll start with Mighty.
I don't know if it's a don't understand, but there's a way to, at least to the best of my knowledge, there's a way to shape a playbook in a fashion where the plays that you want to get called can get called more likely or more often than not. It's just you have to be willing to just put some things that might not be the most advantageous to you for this particular matchup, but in putting it in there and have it in there as an option, it kind of helps fill out formations or personnel group packages or groupings you're trying to put out there, so that way the game is more likely to call that grouping for you, and then the plays you want to be called have a higher likelihood to be put on the field as well.
But that's not a one-size-fits-all box, right, Mighty? I mean, depending upon your personnel and depending upon what you want to do, there's millions of ways to do what you're talking about.
Yes, yes. The same way I gave kudos earlier to St. Louis for running a different style offense than we currently see across the league. Well, there's a way to make it even better than what they're doing now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about tinkering and finding certain things out. And like I've told other coaches that reach out to me in the offseason, your first thing every offseason should be, hey, if you're bringing back the same quarterback you had all season long, find out what he can do and find out what he can't. Because it make no sense for you to put stuff on the field that he can't execute properly or will not get called either because the way your playbook is built is not, complete or correct.
Drew fires it over the middle, and this has been pretty effective. Martinez got loose, Drew. I think that's what you want to see out of Cairo, out of that play, to break that tackle and hit the open field. Brown is slinging it, and he's getting into a rhythm now. That's back-to-back for Eagle, and here goes the Gladiators.
Yeah, to touch on what you said, that's 100% what Cairo would do ideally if he catches that dump route, is to break off at least one tackle to make it a good 6 to 7 yard gain at the very least.
3:23 left. Oh, Brown's in some trouble. And just could not get it over to his receiver. Unbelievable attempt there by Brown. May have been one of the craziest plays of the night, but falls incomplete. Does stop the clock, though, to reset things.
Now, Cameron, though that is a good play in their no huddle situation, because there's not another option for Christian to call. Sometimes that might not be the best play to call. You know what I'm saying? Because the coverage might not allow for that play to get executed properly, and that's what I mean by having a well-rounded or complete playbook, where you have another option there, so that way that can get called and get you out of a jam.
Wow, nice job by Carroll breaking off there to swat it away. I thought Eagle was gone. Nicely done by Evan.
To answer your question, Cam, about what's the biggest misconception or something people don't understand about coaching, is that you're not going to be a genius the first time you try this out. There's going to be a lot of experimentation. You're going to get a lot of trial and error. It's not all going to be perfect. Kids Drew can attest to that. When he first started running the offense, I think it wasn't exactly a perfect match. It just takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort also.
Kaufman on the fourth down just could not get enough there, and Christian Paul out of the slot makes the tackle. Turnover on downs. That's a rough way to end that drive. Drew, your thoughts?
I mean, it's just unfortunate that he kind of stumbled after catching the ball. He could have maybe turned upfield. But, Paul was right that he could have probably had another 4-wide play from Quads or from, I believe that's Trey, to kind of open up or catch coverage off in that situation. I think the target was good. It's a solid decision, but after the catch, the stumble kind of was very unfortunate.
Well, that's where the balance is, right? And a lot of times people fail to understand, as a coach, what you're trying to do. You're trying to get you're trying to get the plays that you feel like are going to be most effective called, but sometimes in trying to do that, you're limiting yourself in other ways on purpose at times, right? But when it gets down late in the game and you really, maybe need a little bit more variety, it's kind of like, you can't have everything, right, Drew? And you just try to give yourself the best chance to win no matter what, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. There's also, personally for me, I do all the scouting. I do most of the coaching since my defensive coordinator, he's going through a very important time in college. He's a senior, so I've been picking up most of the work there. And it's all about trying to balance what you can do in your time, what you can focus on. So, maybe tomorrow when I focus for next week, I might have to dedicate that whole day to the defense, and it might not allow me to try out all the theories I have for what to do on offense.
Senior in college. I think that was one of the busiest I've ever been in life. So I definitely get that. Back senior in college, I had the old WAFL and I had to shut it down because I just couldn't. I needed to graduate. I needed to figure out how that was going to happen. And then 1 month later, the SFL was born. And here we are, June 15th, our 10-year anniversary. Mighty, this has to be frustrating. Ron Cochran has 3 incompletions. Boletsky has 4.5 yards a carry. And if St. Louis can put this drive together, they'll only be down 6.
It's not really frustrating because the other team kind of put. No. Let me explain why. Because the other team kind of has, they didn't come here to lay down, right? They came here to compete as well. So not really more frustrating. The defense kind of came together tonight and played a pretty solid ball game. At least to my liking and to my standards. So to have them on the field with a chance to kind of close the game out is what we're hoping to do. But we know St. Louis is gonna give it their all. So. Not, you know what I'm saying? So it's not one of those, oh my gosh, it's more like, nope, hey, the game's not over yet till the clock hits 0-0-0. So let's see if the defense could kind of stand tall or if St. Louis can make this a ball game.
I hear that. Maybe frustrating, not the right word to use. Some people might find it frustrating. Maybe bettors in Vegas might find it frustrating. But, nice ball to Dean down the field. And St. Louis actually going to burn one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That time, Drew, Dean out of the slot.
Yeah, and that's where we see most of his production. I would like to congrats Florida for shutting down our run game with Haro pretty early on, especially for the entire first half. That's where they kind of created this separation that we see, and they're kind of forcing us to be one-dimensional a little bit to choose our targets carefully.
Dominguez crushes Brown. Okay, we've seen that look quite a few times now, Drew, here in the last 5 minutes. How do they snap out of it, right? How do they go to something different?
Well, I think
there you go.
That it's all about trying to be comfortable. Right now, we're not comfortable being 13 points behind, and so we're calling these 4 wide, 3 wide plays to try to pull us out of it. And unfortunately, the Florida's defensive line is just not letting us get comfortable with these passes, and therefore it's kind of forcing us to be risky with going back to this well. That's not working out for us.
Yeah, they've been a problem tonight. Dominguez with 2 sacks. Stoneville's got 1. 3 unofficially. Black's got 10 total tackles. Colin Douglas with 10 on the other side. Warner with 12. Thanks to our stat guys, Stephen Hacker, Justin Reside all night long. Helping us stay current. That ball got tipped and deflected by a lineman and picked off by Christian Paul. Don't see that often. And that will put a bow on the football game. What a play. That was Stoneville. Mighty's got to love that. Well, Colin, 2-5 now. Big game on national TV against Atlanta next week. Atlanta kind of got things going back in the right direction this week against Jacksonville. But that's going to be a big game. Both teams chasing Tulsa and Louisiana in a divisional race. But it's very important for St. Louis.
It's very important indeed. And like Drew said, he's got a lot on his plate. And I know he's been doing the best he can. It's just unfortunate, some of the bad luck we've had. And, playing Atlanta is always cool. Mark's a great guy. They have obviously a championship caliber organization down there in Atlanta. But yeah, we're just gonna have to dust ourselves off and just on to Atlanta.
These guys, some of the most smart people in the SFL. Drew Riley, Max Paul, Ben Jackson, who couldn't be with us on audio tonight, but is a heck of a coach in his own right. Drew Riley, I mean, these guys all over the league, try so hard to put together a game plan that makes it worthwhile, and all the league tries to do is execute it for them and give them an opportunity to win and succeed. So we thank all of you for being here tonight. I'll just go around final thoughts from everyone. It was a pretty good game, pretty interesting game, fun to break down. And I'll start with Drew. Tough night tonight, but this team's in every game, right in it. And just your thoughts on being here with us on the broadcast and helping us break some things down.
It was great being on this broadcast. It allowed me to talk about some of my thoughts. My final thoughts on this game is that I was kind of hoping to see more of the Christian Brown run or passes to Guy Clausen, which unfortunately he didn't have a single reception this game. I do dedicate a lot of my time looking for plays that would properly use both Chris Dean and Guy Clausen, and it just seems as though that we unfortunately went to the play action sprint 43 post play too many times. And so I'd have to be looking into making adjustments to make sure we're not put into this one-dimensional situation further into the season.
Colin, your thoughts on the evening? Another Monday night special in the books.
Well, it was definitely fun to do this. To sit and chat out casual like this. It is frustrating. Let me have our moment, sort of offensively with the big play to be going and just go on drives, but it's unfortunate that he wasn't able to string together. I would have liked to see some turnovers too, though.
For sure. Marty, your final thoughts. Take us home.
First, I'd like to say, good game to the Gladiators. We knew they were going to come in and give us everything we could and more that we can handle. And I'm just proud of the guys coming through. Bully with a nice little performance. Ron with a clean stat sheet, no turnovers. The D-line stepped up. Big Sexy got his 200th. It feels good to get back in the win column. It's been over a month since we were able to do so. So, great job, Art. Great job, Ben. Back to work tonight because we got to get ready for next week because we got Red Hot Louisiana we got to take on.
That'll be a big ball game, and I think that's Sunday night in prime time there towards the end of the week, Mighty. So you have to sit on your hands for a couple of days. Try not to bite off those nails too much. That's a me problem, might not be a you problem. But thanks to everybody for being here tonight. Stephen Hacker, Justin Reside, just chilling with SFL Nation, learning a little bit more about coaching, learning a little bit more about game film, preparation for a ball game. Tried to answer as many questions as we could. Hope you guys had a lot of fun, and girls out there tonight. For all of us at the Simulation Football League, I'm Cameron Irvine. 2 weeks from now, you will see our final Monday night special, and we'll have some SFL royalty with a bunch of guests talking league ball all night long while we watch and take in the Texas rivalry between Fort Worth and Lone Star. From all of us at the SFL, we'll see you next time and see you next weekend. Crunch Time Wednesday. Talk to y'all later. Good night.